Hey guys, Tyler here with the Kingdoms trading card game, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be quite different compared to my other videos, even compared to my vlogs, as today is going to be a gameplay of a card game called Euchre. Now, I want to throw this out there. They're standard deck of cards. When it came to a standard deck of cards, all I knew how to play was Euchre and Go Fish, pretty much. So I just didn't know how to play all these other games. And so there was a book, or a type of book, that I wanted to get for quite a long time, and I never got it until about a year ago, and it has been one of the best purchases I have ever made. Because not everyone wants to play nerdy games with you, and so it's nice to just have a standard deck of cards and have hundreds of games at your fingertips that you can play. I'll have a link in the description box below for you to check this out. I don't even know if my channel is big enough to say not sponsored, but not sponsored. Anyways, if you are looking for more games to play with just a deck of cards, I would totally recommend getting this book because it has been a game changer. There's over 250 different types of card games in this book, and I have found great games for just my wife and I to play, or games that are perfect for any amount of people. Now, in this particular video, we were celebrating my now brother-in-law. It was his bachelor party, and so we were playing a good old game of Euchre. So I hope you guys enjoy this upcoming video of playing Euchre. If you have no idea what Euchre is, I explain throughout the game how the game works, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And as per the request of my other brother-in-law, because actually all three guys in this video that I play this game Euchre with are all my brother-in-laws, the one on the bottom left, as for his request, I do want to give a shout out to Kayla. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Alright, so as indicated on the screen, the green and the red mat are one team, and their scores will be indicated, all scores will be indicated on the right side, and then the other team will be the blue and orange. So as this video goes on, I will explain how this game of Euchre works. Anyways, I am in the yellow on the bottom right, and the red. I am the dealer. I have dealt 5 cards to everyone, and I am revealing the stack of cards. Right now, a diamonds is revealed. And so now, going counterclockwise, or clockwise, starting with the blue mat, then green, then orange, they each have their own chance to tell me if they want me to pick that card up or to pass. Everyone is going to pass, and I do have the final decision. I'm going to pass as well. And so now we get to go around again and determine what suit we're going to call. And actually, blue is going to call hearts. So hearts is trump. It's going to leave with the ace of clubs, which is a high off suit. And we all have to follow suit if we can. But the green mat is taking it with hearts because heart is trump. And we have won 1 out of the 5. The goal is to get to 10 points in the game. You want to win at least 3 per set, especially if you call it. So now a 10 of diamonds is going to be led from green. If you win, you take your turn. You have to follow suit. So right now, green still has it, which is on my team, thankfully. Now I'm actually taking it with a low heart, and I'm going to take that high ace of diamonds. So now we are at 2, and now only with the spades. Now there's a thing in this game called to euchre someone, and that is if someone calls trump, which in this case for this round hearts is trump, if you actually beat them, you get 2 points rather than 1. And there's a couple other different scoring ways to score, which you'll see throughout this game. We take that one, so we get 3 points. And so now at this point, we have euchred them, and so we can decide to play it out to see if we can get all 5, but we've already beaten them, so we just show the remaining of our hand, and that is the end of this first round. So now we're just kind of looking at the cards, seeing who had what, and seeing how the rest of the game would have played out. So as you can see on the right hand of your screen, now green and red, we now have 2 points, and orange and blue have 0 points. So now it is blue's deal, and you can see on your left side there is a 5 of spades covered up by a card. You use the 5s in the game to keep track of your score. Alright, a king of hearts is revealed. On the bottom right is that book that I showed you at the beginning of the video. We were checking up on it real quick. We just wanted some further clarification. Green did pass, orange passed, red passed, and so blue, who dealt, also called the suit. So hearts is trump again. He did pick up that king of hearts. Alright, so green is going to leave with a high offsuit diamond. So now, if you have the suit, you have to play the diamond. So right now, green and red still have it together. But we'll see what blue does, because if blue called, that means he might have more hearts and feels like he's pretty confident that his team could win. All right, so green and red do snag a point, so that's pretty good. It's always good if you can win when the other team calls, because then you can really pull some points off of them. Thankfully, green had a lot of high offsuits, so that's really pulling out a lot of good cards. But a low 9 of hearts. A small trump will beat any powerful card in the game. Now, two things to clarify as gameplay is happening. As you see, a spades was led, but an ace of spades was led or played by orange, so they take that one. They're up 2-1 for this current set. So a clubs is played, but a heart, that king of hearts comes, so unless green can play a higher king of hearts, or higher than a king of hearts, which would have been a ace, a jack of hearts, or whatever. But that was a misplay from red, actually. You can see that he had the jack of hearts, which actually could have helped get a point, but nonetheless, all right, goes on a green deal. What I was going to explain is that in the game of Euchre, your two best cards are what people call the right and the left, which are the jacks. So for the last round, hearts was trump, which means the jack of hearts is the best card, and then the second best card is jack of diamonds, and then ace of hearts, king of hearts, all the way down to 9. Because that is the lowest that you use. You do not use a full set of cards. And then also we are playing Farmer's Hand, where in your 5 cards, if more than half, so 3 of them are a combination of 9s and 10s, you can exchange those 3 cards for the other 3 cards that are below the stack of the revealed trump card. And I'll explain what that looks like just in a second as green gets ready to do the deal. And then the other thing that we're doing is called steal the deal. So after green's deal, it'll be orange's deal, then red's, then blues, and so on and so forth. But if you want to try to get sneaky, which I don't believe happens at all in this game, you can try to grab the cards real quick and start getting the deal, and then the one team loses the potential of the deal. All right, so anyway, green reveals a queen of spades, and so those cards underneath, those are the ones that get exchanged for what we call the kitty. All right, blue is the one that calls, and we are now playing for spades for trump. So orange is going to lead with a high offsuit. That is a great way to play if you don't have a spade. You want to lead with a high offsuit and see if you can win that way. But we'll see what green does use that queen of spades. So it makes me wonder what else he has in his hand to give up a spade like that, especially a high one. All right, so ace of clubs is led, so green currently does have it. Everyone has to play a club if they want to follow suit, and green takes the second one. Again, green and red are playing together. There is no table talk in this game. There's supposed to not be, but obviously this is friendly banter and joking around. Some people might consider that table talk. All right, so queen of hearts is played, but that king of spades is going to take it. One thing oh wow, so blue had both what is called the left and the right, and so he was happy to give up some of those points, but there was no way we were going to be able to take those last 2. So sometimes, depending on what 5 cards that you have in your hand, you will either just lay them down right at the start of the round because you're just trying to get out all these good cards, or just right at the end, you'll even just jump your turn and you'll throw your 2 cards down because you know that you won the last 2 no matter what. So currently it is 2-2. He just has to fix his score. Orange has to fix his score. And you will notice throughout this match, thankfully it doesn't end up affecting anything. The score does get messed up a little bit, and so that will be indicated by the parentheses that eventually is next to the scores on your right hand side. So we will see. At the moment, we are eating M&Ms with cookie dough bites in them. I would highly recommend. This game was played for a second bachelor party, so this was a good time. Euchre has taken me quite a long time to learn how to play. Partly was because every time I played it, it was so far and few between. But I definitely have learned to enjoy it. I know some people take it very serious. Some people can get pretty passionate about it. But this was a pretty casual, but still had a good time. Okay, so orange did deal. He revealed, I believe it was a 9 of clubs. Blue does call for a farmer's hand, so he took those 3 cards out of his hand and he gave them to the dealer to flip out or to exchange for the other 3 cards underneath the revealed trump card. Okay, so red does have the first call, and he is going to say to pick it up, which means clubs is going to be trump, and so we will see what happens. There is one other thing in euchre, at least for this style of play of how we play it, but I don't believe it happens for this one, is that you can go alone, and what that means is that you are saying that you don't need your teammate, and if you win, you actually get a couple more points because of that. I don't know the exact points off the top of my head while watching this video, but that is just another element to euchre. Okay, so ace of diamonds was led by red, but unfortunately orange came right behind and played that that 9 clubs to win. Okay, so orange is going to leave with that ace of clubs, but red's actually going to pull out the right. So the jack of clubs, which is the best card for this round, and so now it is 1-1. The ace of clubs was used up, so now it's just a matter of seeing what other resources are out there. All right, so now queen of spades is led, which isn't a very good card. Now green has it, thankfully, but orange is going to come with that queen of clubs. So now the left comes out, which this is the next best card in this. No one can beat it because you know that the right has been played and the ace has been played. And so at this point, that is a euchre because they just won 3, and you just have to win 3 out of the 5 sets. And so now blue and orange should technically be up to 4 because they were at 2 points prior, but he will adjust those 5s up to 3. So currently orange and blue are up 3-2, and now it is red's deal. Again, I can't really talk more highly of that book that I showed at the beginning of the video. I was so tired of not having any good games to play, and so this book has just been so nice in discovering all these really cool games, and by all means, and I'm sure I'll already say this in another part of the video, if you guys like this kind of stuff, I'd be more than happy to put an occasional video like this out. But obviously this channel will stay strictly focused on kingdoms. Alright, so red is done dealing, and he will reveal king of diamonds. Now it is blue's call if he wants him to pick it up or pass. Right now they're just getting some clarification on what a farmer's hand is or not. Again, that's a majority of your cards. What your hand size is 5, so that means you have to have at a minimum 3 cards, any combination of 9 and 10. So red does have a farmer's hand, so he's going to take those 3 out and exchange them for the other 3. Now, occasionally when people make a call, if they want to pass, they'll knock on the table, as you saw as blue did. So he did pass. Green calls, so now it is diamonds. So now red and green need to win this if they want to get their point. If they win 5, if they win 0-5, they'll get 2 points. If they get euchred, blue and orange will get 2 points. Okay, so diamonds is trump. Blue's going to leave with his highest card that he has, which is a king of spades. But now green comes in with a very low diamond, 10 of diamonds to win. And so now green and red is winning. But orange has to follow suit. He gets rid of a high ace of spades, which is unfortunate, but that is okay. Green leans with the king of clubs now, and so we have to follow suit again. Ace of clubs, now currently orange has it. It's kind of hard to see who has what cards in their hand. A diamonds is played, and so now red does take that. Again, because diamonds is trump. So it doesn't matter what card is out there. If you play a trump card and no other trump has been played, you automatically have it. Okay, so ace of hearts was led by red. So again, you have to follow suit, which in terms of hearts, this would be the highest card that you can play. Green does play the right, the jack of diamonds, which is the no one could beat that card. So we have our 3 points, so now we're going to see if we can win all 5. So red, which is me, I actually jumped turn, but orange did have the left, so there was no way we were going to win all 5. And the only reason why we just called it early is because green actually saw orange's hand, so we knew we weren't going to win all 5. So anyways, that jumps green and red up to 3 points, and again blue and orange technically be at 4, but right now, as indicated by our cards, it is 3-3. So now it's blue's deal. Some people, again, depending on how official you're playing, there is a certain way you have to deal. 3-2-3-2 or 2-3-2-3. To my knowledge, that's kind of the quote-unquote official way to deal. But really, you guys, as long as you're just playing the game, having a good time and enjoying yourself, that's really all you can ask for. Now these cards are pretty cool. Actually, the person sitting across from me in the orange who is my official brother-in-law. So congratulations to him if he's watching this video, because he did marry my sister just a couple weeks ago. He bought me these sets of playing cards that are Star Wars themed, which I definitely am a fan of Star Wars. All right, so blue reveals a 10 of spades. Green does pass. Not sure what orange does. I believe it's up to red now to determine if he wants to have him pick it up or pass. If you say pass, that means I don't want to call the suit. If you say pick it up, that means you are calling the suit. All right, so red does call. He calls the spades, which means that spades is now in the blue's hand. That is kind of one, I don't know how you want to look at it, advantage or disadvantage of having someone pick it up that's opposite of your team, is you now know that they at least have one possible way to win a set, even if it's a low card, because sometimes people could be playing high offsuits and then they can come in with a low guy. Anyways, red and green do take the first round, so king clubs is led, but that 9 of spades comes in. And orange is currently winning it, so everyone just kind of gives up some cards that they don't really care about if they don't have the ability to follow suit. Orange plays the ace of hearts, so everyone else has to follow with hearts, and it looks like blue took that. All right, so now it's blue's lead. Blue has the left, so that's going to jump them up to 3 points automatically, and so therefore that makes us euchred. So red did have the left, but he did not have a very good hand, or he at the very least, he misplayed possibly. So now orange and blue is going to jump up to, on the screen, 5, but technically it would be 6 points. So now, but we'll just go with what is displayed on the actual gameplay video. So currently blue and orange is up 5-3. Again, you do play to 10. The night that I recorded this video, we ended up playing, I believe, 3 matches of euchre, and I think blue and orange ended up beating us 2 games to 1. Definitely as the games progressed, the laughter became more and more. A lot of deals were stolen, and it was definitely a good time. And I continued, as always, to make some very bad calls. You know, there definitely is some strategy, but it's kind of knowing how the strategy works. So definitely an intricate game, that's for sure. So now green is dealing. Everyone's getting their 5 cards. I don't think there's necessarily a rule when you can and can't look at your hand. Some people wait till they get all their cards. Some people look right away. All right, so a 10 of spades is revealed again, I believe. I think that was the last card that was revealed. And so now, again, the person to the left is the first person that has the opportunity to tell the dealer to pick it up or to pass. All right, so orange does pass, and so now it's red's call, and red actually has his teammate pick it up. So now spades is trump again, and again, person to the left of the dealer is always the one that leads the first trick, which, according to that book that I featured again at the beginning of this video, the terminology that he uses is tricks for each group of cards that are in play. All right, so anyways, green and red do take that first round, and then ace of hearts was led, so everyone has to follow suit, and green has it, but a high ace of spades is played, so I'm not sure if that was the only spade that he had, or he just if blue wanted to make a statement and win that round. Anyways, a king of diamonds is led, so a high offsuit, which has me wondering that maybe blue does not have a lot of spades if that's his best card that he has. So sometimes, all you can do with the cards that you have in your hand. Green does take it with the king of spades, but because that diamonds was led, if you have a diamonds, you have to play a diamonds. Yeah, so that's pretty solid. So green and red take that. Oh, and red had the left and the right, and so now we take that 4th point. So now it's currently 5-4. Orange and blue still up on us, and deal gets passed to orange.
It's a bird. The Bullets changed their name to the Washington Wizards.
I am curious, for those of you watching the video, are you guys into games that just use normal playing cards? And if so, do you have like a special deck of playing cards, or do you just have like a standard deck? These ones I think are really cool, again, because they're the Star Wars theme. I have some waterproof playing cards that are really cool to play with, and I've been tempted to get a couple other different styles. Alright, so anyways, orange does do the deal. A queen of clubs is revealed, and so now it is up to red to determine if he wants to call, have him pick it up or not. He does call a farmer's hand, so he exchanges the 3 cards, which red was waiting for before he decided if he wanted to have him pick it up or pass. So red's looking at his hand, and then if he passes, it will be blue's turn to determine the call or not. Sounds like red's pass. Blue knocks on the table, so blue passes. So now green is trying to figure out if he wants to call or pick it up. Okay, green passes, so now it's up to orange. Orange does pass, so now it's up to red to call. So if everyone passes, everyone then has a chance to call a trump from the hand, and if they don't, everyone turns in their cards and they redeal. Red does call. Red is the leader for this round because he's after the dealer, and spades is trump. So what is red going to lead with?
Gosh, Tyler.
His reaction made you say no other player I have ever seen.
What happened? What's going on?
Zach's sitting here like,
If I got power, I don't mind showing it.
Currently, people are being made fun of for having their hand a little too revealed, which that is an element to playing the game. You kind of want to keep your cards hidden so that way other people don't know what you have. Anyways, a queen of hearts is led, which indicates one of two things: that the hand is not very good, which ultimately indicates that the person that called it maybe does not know what he's talking about. And I can say that comfortably because that is me. Anyway, spades is trump, queen of hearts is led, so now blue has it with a high ace of hearts. And so now blue and orange take that. So 1-0 for this round. Again, it's 5-4. Blue and orange are up by just 1 point. But again, he played a 10, so a lot of stuff can happen. I mean, just in one turn, you can totally swing this round because you can get 2 points, sometimes 4 points in one round. All right, so it is Blue's turn because he was the one that won it. Technically for his team, he does play a king of hearts, the highest card that he has, but green does come in with a low spade to take it, and so now green has it. So it's currently 1-1 for this trick. A high ace of clubs is led, so again everyone has to follow suit. I will point out, so the left and the right, so the jacks for the respective suit or trump that is called. Man, I'm sorry, my computer is acting a little silly on me. Anyways, the left and the right. So in this case, spades is trump. So that jack of clubs, which is the left, technically counts as a spade as well, if that makes sense. Anyways, even though that left was played, the right was played, which ended up taking that. Okay, so the king of spades was led, but that ace of spades is higher than that king, so that takes it. So the only thing that I believe a queen of spades is still left, which could potentially still take it. So it's currently 2-2. Can they take it? There is that queen of spades, so they end up taking that third point. Lucky for me. I do make a lot of bad calls, but it's always nice when one of them works out. All right, so it is currently 5-5, as indicated just by the gameplay. By the actual gameplay display, but technically, as in parentheses on the right side, orange and blue are technically supposed to have 6 points. Alright, so it is red's deal. You'll notice on the screen that there's the Kingdoms logo on that top left. That's just because we had a basketball game playing on a phone, and I don't know if that is supposed to be showing or not, so I have it blocked out as best as I can. Okay, so, question for you. When it comes to playing card games, do you guys have a hard time shuffling, or are you really good at shuffling? Or when it comes to your TCGs, do you have a different way of shuffling? Just kind of curious. Comment below. Okay, so red is the deal. He does reveal a 9 of clubs for the possible trump. And so now it's up to blue to call to either pass or pick it up. Just checking the GoPro real quick to make sure it's still recording. This recording angle actually turned out rather good. I was really happy how this turned out. It makes me confident if I ever come out with an idea for a 4-player Kingdoms gameplay mode that you could easily show all 4 game boards. So everyone passes, but the person who dealt, which is myself, so red, does call, and he does pick up that 9 of clubs, which is not a very good card. It still could potentially win a trick, but it's going to be hard nonetheless. Okay, so it's currently 5-5, 0-0 though for this current round. Because red is dealer, that means it is blue's turn to go first. Now, typically when you call, you are banking on the fact that your hand has enough cards to win, or maybe you're just hoping by luck of the draw that your opponent has something good. Blue ends up taking the first round. He leads with a high ace of diamonds, so everyone has to follow suit if they can. Let's see what red has. He does have that low 9 of clubs, so he takes it. So that's a perfect example of how a low trump can win, especially against some high other cards. So 10 of clubs is led, but that pulls out the right, which is the most powerful card in this set, and the left, so that both the jacks are pulled out. So now it's just maybe this is a tactic. I can't remember how I was playing it. Maybe this is a strategy. Maybe it's not. But for this casual way of playing, it's kind of fun. Okay, so Queen of Hearts is led. It is blue and orange currently have won 2 out of the 3. But now it's tied 2-2, and King of Clubs. Oh wow. Okay, so King of Clubs is played. And it looks like red and green win the set. So that's going to jump red and green up to 6. So actually that kind of worked out there. If we're looking at the strategy of that gameplay there, maybe it was just kind of fortunate for this round, but maybe you don't want to do it all the time. Red played a low trump card, which ended up pulling out the left and the right. It kind of gave you card knowledge of who has what cards out there. And I suppose it worked out too, because if you have a couple other trumps in your hand of the suit, the trump suit, then you're trying to figure out who has the other missing cards, because for each round you have to think about it. When you have trump, let's just say clubs is trump. That means that the trump cards for that current round will be the jack of clubs, jack of spades, and then the ace, king, queen, 10, and 9. So there's 7 cards out there. So you're trying to see where those cards are. Are they in your hand, your teammate's hand, the opponent's, or are they in the remaining stack under the revealed trump card? So it is blue's deal. He does reveal a queen of hearts, and so technically it is green's call first to see if he wants him to pass or pick it up. At this time of playing the game of Euchre, we were talking about the Detroit Pistons, which is a game that we had on in the background. Again, with us being from Michigan. So just curious, do you guys have a professional sports team that you like to watch for whatever sport that may be? Okay, anyways, green does end up deciding to call, so we do know that blue has that Queen of Hearts in his hand, which is a relatively higher card, but I know between green and red, green is definitely the far better player, much more strategic player, so I am under the assumption that he has a pretty solid hand to have blue, pick it up, especially on a Queen of Hearts, but we'll see if red can help chip in at all. Okay, so green does lead with the Queen of Diamonds. Everyone has to follow suit, which pulls out an Ace of Diamonds, so green does have that, and you know, that stinks for green and red because that's pulling out some high diamond cards, but aces are your best cards for offsuits. Jack of clubs is played, that in case any of you are wondering, but a jack was played. Only the left and the right of the trump. So in this case, jack of clubs and jack of spades are pretty worthless cards. So clubs is played, and currently blue and orange do have it, but ace of hearts is played to win it, which either means that he doesn't have any lower hearts, or that's just the only heart, or he just wants to say, hey, I am winning this and no one is stopping me. So a low 10 of spades is played, ace of spades is played, ooh, but a hearts is played to take, but a queen of hearts by blue. So in case you kind of missed that, red tried to take it with a low heart, but blue did not have a way to follow suit, so he ended up taking trump. So the left was played by green, but red had the right, and so sometimes with gameplay, I don't know if this would technically be proper for certain Euchre environments, but sometimes people will just throw out their cards if they know that there's a guarantee win. And usually you only want to do that with the left and right if you know, like, so if you have the left but the right has already been played, you know you can confidently throw that card out there and win that round. So the scores do end up getting a little mixed up as well for green and red. And so as what is shown for the on the gameplay video is it is 8-5 with green and red up, but technically it would be 7-6 right now. So it is green's deal right now. He does reveal a queen of diamonds, and so that means it is orange's call.
He was getting mad because you threw a pick. He's like, no, I touched the ground.
I'm curious because as we're watching this video right now, some friendly banter and just talking about other things is going on right now. When you guys play games with other people, do you guys are you guys dead focused the whole entire time, or do you guys kind of like just enjoying the process, enjoying the fun, and talking about other things? Okay, so what's going on here is blue called a farmer's hand, but orange had a farmer's hand as well. So even though he knew he was going to be getting a farmer's hand back, he still was exchanging it anyways. So who knows? Maybe that will work out in his favor. Okay, so everyone passed, but blue did ask to pick it up, which means a diamonds is trump. I forget what card was revealed. I believe that was a queen of diamonds. But nonetheless, orange is the one that leads. Now, one thing that you have to think of is that Euchre, it's a team game, and you have to play with your teammate in mind. Now, I say that, and also knowing that I maybe don't do the best job in doing that personally, but you want to make sure you play your cards strategically, because you don't want to pull the good cards out of your opponent's hand either. So it's there's no table talk allowed, so really the only way you can communicate is by the cards that you're playing. So diamonds is trump, a spades is played, which is an offsuit, but red does not have a spade, so he just gets rid of a club, a jack of clubs, which is really worth nothing, and then blue does not have a spade. So he plays a club, and then green takes that with a high spade, and so now green and red are up one. Okay, so ace of clubs is led, which is a high offsuit, so the only way this can be beat is with the diamonds, which orange does beat it with a diamond. So at this point, if you're the teammate of orange, you just want to get rid of a card that's worth nothing since your teammate has it, especially because you're the last person for that trick. Jack of spades is played, which this card really is kind of middle of the pack. Blue did play the high spades, but green played a better card. So now it's currently 2-1 for this trick. And let's see. So green leads with the king of diamonds, which is high, but I believe the right or the left is still out there, and an ace is still out there of diamonds. So let's see who has what. It is orange's turn to play. We'll see what cards he has in his hand. He plays a spades, which is worth nothing. Queen of hearts is played. Ooh, ace of diamonds comes in and takes it. What does blue have? Oh, he has the left, or he has the right. Wow. Okay. So the right beats the left. That jack of diamonds beats the jack of hearts, and it is now 6-8. Technically, it would be 7-7, but as indicated by the actual gameplay video, it is currently 6-8. So now it goes on to orange's deal. And so even down at 6 points, there is still you would have an opportunity to win just in one round, and I believe that is if you go alone and then you win all 5, I think, or if you win 3. I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but I know there is a way to score 4 points in the game of Euchre. If while you're watching this video you know how that works out, I'd be happy if you drop that in the comments below. These Ultra Pro game mats that I'm using, I bought a couple years ago now. I've actually had them for I think 4 to 5 years, and I absolutely love these things. These game mats I think are about $10 to $15 each, and I absolutely love them. I actually use one as a desk pad sometimes for my computer, and even when my wife and I play just any type of board game or card game, I always lay these mats out because it just is so much easier to pick up cards, and it just makes it really enjoyable. So if you're looking for a game mat, or even for a computer game mat, or a computer like desk pad, whatever, I would highly recommend these because, again, they're super cheap. They come in a lot of colors. I want to get more, but there's really no need for me to get more. 4 is more than enough, in addition to the Kingdoms game mats that are available. Link in the description below to get your hands on your very own Kingdoms TCG product. How do you like that, that advertisement drop? That was pretty good. Anyways, Orange's deal, he has dealt everyone their 5 cards, and he reveals, it looks like, a 10 of clubs. Now, one thing that, related to this video, but not necessarily related to Euchre, I'm recording this video with a GoPro, and you can notice that the footage is just ever so grainy, and that's just the fact that GoPros need a lot of light, and I only know that just because of the videographer that I worked with this past year while filming some weddings. So that is a tip for you. If you guys record your videos with a GoPro, make sure you have plenty of light so that way you get some nice crisp footage. Okay, so anyways, Orange did deal. He did call as well. Clubs is trump. Red led first with a diamonds, and blue takes it with a high ace. So now it's blue's lead. Blue and orange are up 1-0 for this current trick. King of hearts is played. Now it's green's turn. He comes in with an ace of hearts. So now we are taking it. But now let's see what orange has. He might have, even if he has a club, any club, he automatically takes it. So he plays that low 10 of clubs, and he takes it. That's a good opportunity, a good way to play those clubs. So now he leads with an ace of clubs, which I wonder if this is a strategic way to, if he has possibly the left and the right, see what is out there. So he does pull out the right, which I'm going to assume means he has the left. That's my only hope. Spades is played. Okay, so that left does come out. Okay, so he intentionally played that ace because he knew he had the left. So he at least wanted to see if with that ace he could pull out the right, because he knew he was going to lose to the right. So that was good play by Orange.
Yeah, it'll be.
Okay, so right now the score is messed up a wee bit, so I do need to fix that. But technically it is now 8-8, or what would be indicated by the parentheses. It is currently 8-9. Blue and orange would be up to 9 points. Okay, so it is red's deal, and really anyone could win in this round if someone gets euchred. So you really have to play smart. But if you guys have kind of noticed a slight theme, especially for those of you that are really familiar with euchre, I think you can tell that the person on the red, which again is me, is maybe not the best at playing euchre. So anyways, red does reveal the queen of spades, and so now it is up to blue's call. Green does call for a farmer's hand, so he does exchange it for what we were calling at this time the kitty. I don't know if that's technical terminology or just what we thought it was called. I guess Green's cards were so bad that he actually just tried to hide them all together under the blue hat. Okay, so it is blue's call, and now we need to see what happens. You really have to be strategic at this moment, because if you're calling it, you basically are saying that you can win, because if you lose, then the other team automatically wins because you get 2 points. You might be looking at the screen like, wait, it looks like it's 8-7 right now. Orange does have 8. He just misplaced his card, and at the end of this, we will end up clarifying. So red does call, and it is now blue's lead. Spade is trump, and let's see what happens. Okay, so a diamonds is led, a high offsuit. So if you have diamonds, you have to play a diamonds, and so let's see what happens. Green plays a queen of diamonds. If orange has diamonds, he has to play that. If he doesn't, he just wants to play a random other card that wouldn't win anything. And that's what he does. He plays a 10 of hearts because he doesn't have a diamond, and you're not going to win anything with a 10 of hearts, so you want to get rid of that when you can, and you want to save the best cards that you can for typically the end, unless something gets a little spicy in the middle. Green does come in with that 10 of spades, so he does take out a high ace, so that's pretty good for them. But now he leads with a 10 of hearts, which really doesn't do much. So Jack of hearts played, King of hearts played, but that ace of hearts comes in the rear and takes it all. So now orange's lead is currently 1-1 for this trick. Now let's see what orange is going to lead. Red did call, so you would think that he has more spades in his hands, but could be a bad call. Orange and blue could have a decent amount of spades in their hand, because again, there's 7 opportunities to have a trump caliber card in your hand, or the high aces, which are pretty strong but can be beaten. Ace of clubs is led, but the queen of spades is played, so it could take this ace and now green. Because clubs was led, he has to follow suit. If he wasn't able to, just give up a little card. All right, so now it's 2-1, but oh man. So blue did have the left and the right, and that's gonna bump them up to 10, and that is the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this game of Euchre. If you noticed anything, drop it in the comment below, and thanks for watching this. Let's go ahead and pass it on to the end of the video.
Well, for those of you that aren't familiar with the game of Euchre, I'm sure you picked up, even you picked up probably that I'm maybe not the best at Euchre, but I still have a good time. Made quite a few bad calls, but it makes for a lot of good laughs and stuff. Anyways, before I end this video, I do want to end it with a Bible talk. I've been reading from the book of Proverbs a lot lately, just from my little Bible that I got here. And the first couple chapters of Proverbs are talking about wisdom. And this one verse really stuck out to me in chapter 3, verse 17. It says, Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. When we learn to walk in wisdom and just do what is right, it really leads to a path of pleasantness and peace. And that has been a huge challenge for me and a huge goal for me to reach, is to learn to walk in wisdom. Because when I want to walk after my own ways or do my own things or gratify my own desires, it's not always peaceful, it's not always good. And so it's good to learn to walk in wisdom. And the way that you get wisdom is by spending time reading scripture, by going to church, by talking to other people that believe in Jesus and learning from them, and just helping disciple each other and learn to live this life that God wants us to live as His sons and daughters. Besides that, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to keep in touch with the channel. Leave a comment below if you liked this type of video, because I would love to put out other gameplay videos of other games, whether it's just a standard game using a regular deck of cards, or playing another type of game, maybe Munchkin or Star Realms, like I've featured in this channel before. Whatever time of the day that you're watching this video, whether it be the morning, evening, or night, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.